Yo, what's going on guys? I am back with another video, and today's video is going to be about why every pro player is changing their keybinds. So this video is definitely overdue because most pros have already changed and gotten used to their new binds, but there are still many people who don't know or are confused rather as to why they are changing them. And really quickly before I start the video, for those of you who don't know, I killed Daquan in the game earlier today, and this is not me bragging or anything, but I want to thank the new subs that joined the channel afterwards and all the comments that I received. Once again, this is not me bragging about killing Daquan, but it's me thanking the people that came from his stream to comment or sub, so thank you. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So a common question that's asked is, why is a pro changing their keybinds when they're already really good at the game? And the answer to that question is simple. So in the player's perspective, they see things in their game that the viewer or other people may not see. So issues like it being difficult to press two buttons at the same time or simultaneously, or switching weapons really quickly is just uncomfortable. Those are things that the viewer will not see, but the players will definitely feel, and they know they can be a lot better if the button pressing aspect was more comfortable. So with the way building is right now, to be a very competent player, you need to use all of the building slots pretty much on a fight to fight basis, and if all of those buttons aren't really comfortable to you, you could risk falling behind on the skill side of things. So some of the most notable players who changed their binds are players like Tfue, Cypher PK, Myth, and Ninja. Now if you guys want to know what their new binds are and what their old binds were, I'm sure you can just go to their channels and it won't be hard to find it at all. But I also changed my keybinds, and for those of you who don't know why, I'm going to explain my reasoning behind it and how it helped me get better. So I'm just going to go over all of my binds and say which ones I've changed as I go along. So starting at the top, obviously W, A, S, and D are for moving, and jumping and sprinting are default. I changed my auto run to number 12 on my mouse. I have an MMO mouse, so it has the number pad on the side of it. So all I have to do is press 12 and it'll auto run. My crouch is on C as opposed to the default, which is control. The reason I changed that is because I don't want to have my pinky doing any work on the keyboard besides sprinting. I have a really weak pinky, so the less movement the better. I'm going to skip down to use, which is still at the default E. And then I have my pickaxe on X, and I felt like that was what's most comfortable for me. I press X with my index finger and I have no issues with that at all. So this is where my MMO mouse comes in handy, because all of the numbers for my weapon slots are on the mouse. I am not pressing the numbers on the keyboard, which I know a lot of people do. I feel like it makes things a lot easier and minimizes the amount of work I do with my left hand. I'm going to show my mouse on the screen right now so you guys know what I'm talking about. And it's funny that I mentioned Daquan earlier in the video because he actually uses the same mouse. That's why his controls are very similar to mine. So going down to building, I have my walls on Q, my floor on 1, stairs on F, and roof or pyramid on left alt. Now the most important thing about these controls is that I press all of them with 4 different fingers. My previous binds had my floor on V, so I would need to press F and V, my floor and stairs, with my index finger, and that just made it difficult when it was times that I need to press both of them at pretty much the same time. With my floor now being on 1 and on my mouse, it made it so much easier to just press it with my right thumb. So if I need to place that floor and then the stairs, I can pre-place both of my fingers beforehand, which will make building faster as opposed to having to move one finger from one button to the next. That's probably the most important thing to take away from this video, having all of your build buttons designated to different fingers, because that will physically make you be able to build faster. So onto my trap slot, I have it on my middle mouse, which is just clicking on the scroll wheel, and I found that to be pretty simple and easy to learn, and I've gotten used to it over time. My repair button is 7 on my mouse once again, and the reason it's 7 is because you don't really have to repair your buildings too often, and 7 was an empty button on the mouse, so I just binded it to that. It's not that difficult to press either. My rotate button is the default, and my edit button is on the default. The last thing in my binds to point out is that I changed my inventory to tab and my map to caps lock. I actually check my map pretty often throughout the game, and I wasn't too comfortable pressing M, so I changed it to something reachable. So that's pretty much it for my keybinds and the video. Once again, the reason everyone is changing their keybinds is mainly for more comfortability and changing their 4 different build slots on 4 different fingers, which will result in faster building. I didn't really change much with my controls. I just changed my floors from V to 1, and I've been on these controls for about a month, and I feel like I've gotten better since the change. I wouldn't recommend just copying someone's binds. I just say go down the list yourself and see what feels most comfortable for you and go from there. But with that being said, like if you liked the video, dislike if you disliked it, comment to give me feedback on what I can do to make my videos better, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.